So in 2.5 hours, you and Yuri will go on the trip of a lifetime, starting in Western Russia, into Siberia, and then far out Mongolia. Tell me more about it.
So in 5 weeks, we will cross 7 time zones and travel over 7,000 miles on off-road motorcycles and the Trans-Siberian train.
So 2 guys, 2 bikes, 0 support vehicles, staying in tents in the Siberian and Mongolian wilderness. All I have to say is good luck, Tuka. We'll be watching it from our sofa. All the best, man.
So just some last minute checks before we cross the border to Russia. This is it, Yuri. No turning back.
So we have a rough plan. Yuri has made routes based on satellite maps only. So first, we will ride through the Russian Karelia into Moscow. In Moscow, we're gonna hop on the Trans-Siberian train. And once we reach Novosibirsk, we're gonna offload our bikes and ride through Mongolia.
So now you're in Mongolia, then what happens?
So after a pit stop at the Mongolian capital, Ulaanbaatar, if we're still alive, we're gonna head back into Russia towards Lake Baikal. From there, we're gonna head to the BAM road. It's one of the toughest adventure roads left on this planet.
It's only our second day, and I'm already in an amazing place like this. This is my private lake, and I'm feeling free.
So this is where we're meant to be going through. We have no idea how deep that is. So Yuri is going to walk through that. Well, maybe swim. But this is the only way, unless we want to go back for like 200 kilometers. So you go, man.
After a hard but fun day of riding the world-class adventure roads of Karelia, we stumble upon a friendly hotel in the middle of nowhere.
After a good night's sleep, feeling like a new man. Today, 700 miles to Moscow. So need a hearty breakfast. I think this will do the job. We were meant to sleep for 2 or 3 hours and start our ride again. But yeah, we slept, I don't know, almost 6 hours. So we're well behind schedule. We're trying to make the Trans-Siberian train in Moscow still today, pack our bikes there.
We're literally being sent to Siberia. Очень хорошо.
If you say the word Siberia, we imagine sub-zero temperatures, enormous bears, gulag prison camps, and unforgiving terrain. Is that really all we want to know about this enormous land area, where you could fit Western Europe and the whole of the United States at the same time?
We just reached the Ural mountain range, the boundary between Europe and Asia. We're in Siberia. I can't wait to get off this train and go riding again.
Здравствуйте. Мисс Тест, чтобы подобрать 2 мотоцикла.
Вы не сможете сейчас оплатить, касса до 2 часов работает. У нас рабочий день до 2. Склад до 3 часов, только выдача. Оплатить теперь можете только завтра.
It's so funny when you deal with these officials. They always like look really angry, and then all of a sudden it's all okay, and everyone's smiling and хорошо. Bikes are screaming, "Let me out! Let me out!"
On our way to Mongolia, we stopped at a legendary bike park. We're far away from the paved roads and looking for a way over these mountains. Yuri, this is the bridge. This is the way. So now it's getting interesting. We're somewhere in the middle of Altai mountains, trying to find our way and thinking whether to go left or right. Oh, Yuri already decided, so left it is. But before I follow Yuri, there's always time for a Siberian bath. Oh, it's freezing. I can only see mud tracks everywhere, but none of them seem to go over the mountain. Let's just push on.
Есть дорога или путь?
Да, на корову есть. Есть, видите.
Окей.
Somewhere out here in the wilderness, there's a point where China, Russia and Mongolia meet. So if I would be lying on the ground right now, my right arm would be in China, my head would be in Russia, and my left foot would be in Mongolia. After 2 days, we found our way over the mountains. As much as I love the dirt roads and going off-road, I have to say, this scenery is just fantastic. So today, we finally get to Mongolia. Well, I hope we do. A border crossing can take 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, the whole day. You might be closed for 3 days. Let's see.
river that you can't cross, but we'll try it anyways.
Yeah.
Good luck.
That's a nice trip.
Here we are in Koshagash, God-forsaken border town, very close to Mongolian border. Next stop, Mongolia. Okay. Yeah, the border is still open for 2.5 hours, so let's hope they don't turn us back.
А все равно понимаешь друг друга, когда по-человечески, да? Когда хорошо, и можно понять.
Немного. Я учился в школе.
В школе учился?
Да.
Я понял. Монголия, Монголия 2 раза в неделю. 6 дней. 2 раза.
After 2 weeks, we finally arrive in Mongolia.
Found a great place to crash for tonight. Yuri was actually here 2 years ago, and back then there was only this small house. And now I guess the business has expanded a little bit. They put up these gears here, and you see a lot of tourists from Kazakhstan, Russia, and Finland, of course. So when we're not riding off-road, this is how we roll. We've been riding for, I don't know how many hours. Totally exhausted. Happy but exhausted. Trying to find something to eat. This was a perfect find. We're having these goat meat dumplings, guaranteed organic. And then some tea with goat milk. Last chance to get some fuel before we go into the desert. Now we have filled up all our canisters and extra tanks and everything. It's only 92 octane gas, but it works fine on these bikes.
We're heading into no man's land. A bike breakdown, running out of water, or navigation error could be deadly.
The first tire break. This is gonna be our camp for tonight.
Welcome to my crib. Here's my bedroom, which is also, by the way, the living room and every other room, except I have my own walk-in wardrobe. And you gotta see the backyard. The Mongolian desert.
Another morning, another tire change.
Glad we have this extra canisters of fuel with us. We're running low.
Central Western Mongolian desert, and here we are blasting through it. Oh, I tell you, it's tough. I'm exhausted, but it's so much fun. I mean, seriously, it's the most fun I've ever had on a bike.
This is the land of Genghis Khan. For sure.
Oh, that was a hard ride. It's so hot out there. Just we found this really nice village and just getting some food. 2 days we've been out there. Flat tire, sleeping out in the wilderness. Hardly eating anything. We had some cookies and found some, I don't know what it was, like a peanut butter or something, you know. Some water with us.
It's funny when you try to ask Yuri for directions, whether he knows where we're going. He says, yeah, kind of. I have my navigation points here, but let's just ride. I'm like, okay, but is it towards that city or that city? I don't really know, but there's a lake there, so let's just go around it. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, we found this poor little goat, and it's lost. It's just walking in circles, completely dehydrated.
We brought the goat as a gift to this nomadic family and asked them to take good care of it.
There's bread, some kind of custard, and sugar on top, dipped in goat's milk, warm goat's milk. It's so nice.
I really need to go. Diary. Run, Forrest, run! I think it was that lovely grandmother in that ger that gave us that delicious, what was it, this custard-like goat product.
Yeah.
And literally like 3 or 4 hours after that, we just both started.
Today is not the best of days. Both have diarrhea and stomach is just turning, and we're riding on this really terrible road. Has about 1 million potholes. But then again, this is part of it. After 3 days, we finally found asphalt. Mwah! Mwah! Nothing. Yuri. Just helping a fellow biker out.
First wash of the trip for the bikes. They're so dirty. Yuri, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet
Yuri.
you. Oh, the 690s, yeah?
Yeah, 690 chassis this. So we have extra
wow.
filling here. 6.5 liters extra.
Oh, that's awesome.
If it's a paved road, we can ride like 400 kilometers with these tanks. And off-road maybe 350. And we sometimes carry extra 50 liters fuel.
We've ridden over 6,000 kilometers on one set of tires, but to survive rest of Siberia, we need hardcore off-road tires.
9 p.m. We are ready with the new tires.
We're back in Siberia now and heading towards the notorious BAM road. I'm actually getting slightly nervous because it's one of the most extreme, one of the most inhospitable roads in the world. It's going to be the ultimate test of man and machine.
So here we are in far out Siberia. As you can see, it's been tire changing day.
We made friends with 2 Siberians who introduced us to local cuisine, raw fish and pickled vegetables washed down with vodka.
So good. Russian sushi.
Вот я сибиряк. Я конкретно сибиряк. Я всю жизнь живу в Сибири. И я никуда не собираюсь из Сибири ехать.
Есть ТБР?
Здесь нету. А вот в Северобайкальск будете ехать, они прямо на трассу выходят, на дорогу.
Да. Там есть.
Ну вот такие штуки ходят.
Окей.
Да? Я тебе говорю.
Да.
Этому копью, ну, примерно лет 300. Я так понимаю. Раньше люди с ним охотились на медведя. Bear.
It's time to leave our new friends behind and head deeper into Siberian backcountry. We were told that for the next 400 kilometers, there's nothing but bears.
On the way to Severobaikalsk, we encountered something much more dangerous than bears.
Now this is getting interesting. We're in the middle of Siberian forest fires. And it's getting really hard to breathe, and we don't know how many hours this will last. We've been riding 2 hours and we're completely surrounded by it. This is not good.
Luckily, the smoke started clearing after 20 minutes of riding, so we had to celebrate our survival with the best trail snacks we were carrying: bread, sausage, and the finest Russian caviar.
BAM is the decaying service road of the Baikal-Amur railway. It stretches nearly half of Siberia and only few vehicles have made through it.
We're just about to start the final chapter on our journey through Siberian taiga. Here from the north end of Lake Baikal, on this BAM road, all the way to Amur.
28 days on the road. Starting to be quite worn out, to be honest. Wow, that was a close call. We were really running out of petrol, and I'm really glad we found this station. And when the petrol station is starting to look like this, you know it's time to fill up your tank, your reserve canisters, water bottles, whatever you have. Because the stations here are very far and few between.
BAM Road is starting to take its toll, and we're running low on food and petrol. It feels like there's no end to the countless water crossings.
Life is good on the BAM Road. It's 2 a.m. It's pitch black, raining. It's probably 3 or 4 hours to the closest village, and we're about to cross the most dangerous bridge I've ever imagined. What could possibly go wrong?
Vitim Bridge, which we just crossed. Look at these planks, they're all rotten. If you want to ride it, now's the time, because in a few years, I think it will be unpassable.
Riding the BAM Road and crossing the Vitim Bridge was an epic finish to a journey through Russia and Mongolia. If you're thinking about an adventure like this, don't think too much. Just get on your bike and experience the ultimate freedom like we have over the past 5 weeks. It will be tough and tiring, sometimes dangerous, and you don't know what lies ahead, but that's the beauty of it. You will get to see places, meet people, and experience local way of life like never before. Make the effort and join the ranks of modern-day explorers.